All right, what's going on everyone? SAMIR CHIBANE here, founder of the eCom Incubator, where we help people start and scale their e-commerce business, where we help people get their PhD in e-commerce. All right, so if you're new here to the channel, make sure you stay tuned as we're gonna cover the e-commerce Facebook ad strategy for 2020. Now, if you're just getting started with e-commerce, or maybe you've been dabbling in e-commerce for the past year or so, then you understand the impact that your marketing, how important it is to have your marketing strategy in place, okay? Now, going into the new year, what worked in 2019, 2018 is not gonna be the case for 2020, okay? For the past couple of years, Facebook ads has been one of the sexiest platforms to advertise on, one of the sexiest advertising platforms to talk about. But in 2020, that is gonna change, okay? And I'm gonna cover in this video as to why that is, how you can adapt, and more importantly, how you can stay ahead of the curve, all right? Now, especially if you're just getting started off with e-commerce, this video could save you thousands, if not tens of thousands of advertising dollars, so be sure to stay all the way until the end. Now, the 2020 Facebook ad strategy is going to consist of focusing on these 5 different factors right here, okay? The first factor is avoiding ad fatigue. And what I mean by that is a lot of people think that they could just come into the market and just promote this product of theirs using one simple ad that they might have either gotten from a competitor, or maybe they cooked up from a combination of YouTube videos and pictures and slideshows and whatnot. But the reality for 2020 is you're gonna need a handful, a whole stash of ad creatives that you can continuously test and retarget your engagers with, okay? People have gotten so numb to the advertisements that they see on their Facebook ad platform that they're really looking for one that is more creative, one that stands out, one that is re-engaging them in different ways rather than just showing the same exact ad over and over again. Now, let's just say you don't have the budget or the means to be able to, create a little micro brand by developing and creating all of your personal creative assets. And one thing I would recommend for you is to simply focus on trying out different ad copy, different headlines, and different thumbnails at minimum, okay? Those are the 3 elements that at minimum you could be testing out without having to spend any dollars, okay? Maybe a couple bucks on some thumbnails if you're no good at Photoshop, but at minimum, those you need to be tested. Now, if you really want to go the extra inch to get a mile's worth of results, then I recommend you be recording your own videos and taking your own pictures as well, all right? A lot of beginner e-commerce entrepreneurs, just like what we did when we were first getting started, just using stock photos, using, videos that we could find online or from the supplier. But it gets to a time where you need to grow up and you need to start putting your money where your mouth is and actually building your micro brand, okay? And we talk a lot more about this in the upcoming e-commerce workshop, the 2020 e-com resolution workshop, which you can check out by clicking the link below, and I'm gonna cover at the end of this video here. Now, the second factor that you need to focus on is all about segmenting your audiences, okay? When people are engaging with your brand, with your business, with your store, they're taking all different kinds of actions. And some of the actions are not as valuable as others. And what I mean by that is somebody just watches 3 seconds of your ad, rather than somebody who adds actual products to their cart, adds their payment info, but doesn't necessarily complete their checkout. You have to treat those audiences differently. You have to talk to them differently. You have to motivate them and reward them differently based on where they're at in your funnel. Okay, 3 seconds must mean they're not really that interested versus somebody who watched 95% of your ad and actually clicked on your website. Okay, so when you start to segment your audiences on Facebook ad, that's when you will be able to laser focus, laser target your messaging and get people to take the right actions that you want them to take based upon where they're at in your funnel. Okay, now the third factor that you want to go ahead and focus on is retargeting with new offers. Okay, you don't understand how many e-commerce entrepreneurs just focus on the exact offer that they launched with, and they never ever try to get their price sensitive prospects to kind of jump over the fence by retargeting them with a new offer, a more valuable offer. It doesn't necessarily have to be cheaper price either, okay? It could just be a more valuable offer. So instead of buying one, get one free, how about buy one, get two free, just to get them to jump over the edge? And of course, you can always make up for that average cart value on the back end with upsells and downsells. All right, so don't hesitate to retarget with new offers, and it doesn't always have to be about lowering the price. It can even be about hiring the price while providing more value with a great offer. And the fourth factor that we're going to be focusing on, and you definitely want to pay attention to, which kind of ties back to creating your own ad creatives. Don't hesitate to make them as simple as memes, as simple as, selfie videos, because that is what the average person is expecting when they hop on these social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. Okay, it's all about selfies, memes, simple little videos. These are called native ads. Ads that don't really feel like ads, because it almost seems like a friend or a family member posted it on their timeline, okay? Rather than the whole Hollywood budget, trying to spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars on this cinematic looking video. Just because they're more expensive does not mean they're gonna make more money, especially when it comes to Facebook ads, okay? Really, the best performing ads are gonna be the native ones, the ones that don't feel like ads, okay? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about the next type of ads that you're gonna be creating, all right? Now, the fifth and last factor that you should be focusing on for great returns on ad spend in 2020 is going to be focusing on facial recognition, okay? You don't understand how many different e-commerce brands or e-commerce entrepreneurs out there are not including any type of faces in their ads. It is literally just pictures of the product, of objects. But as humans, when we go on social media, we're there to connect with other people. So you want to be including as many faces as possible, as clearly as possible, and don't just focus on your actual product or the actual physical object that you're trying to sell. Focus on including faces that they would recognize, that they would relate to, that they would want to feel like is a friend of theirs or a family member of theirs recommending the product, okay? So if you're able to tie in all of these 5 factors here like we talked about, and we can run it back from the top, which is the first one, avoiding ad fatigue by always having creative and fresh ad creatives. Also, segmenting your audiences to be able to talk to them directly depending on where they are in the funnel. Retargeting those segmented audiences with specific offers to get them to move down the line, especially for just price sensitive customers. Retargeting them with a great offer can sometimes be the only thing they needed to see to go over the fence and become a customer. Native ads as well, huge, right? Memes, selfies, simple little homemade videos are gonna make great ads in 2020 rather than the Hollywood, $10,000 ads that a lot of people think or assume are the best performing just because they're more expensive. And the fifth factor is all about focusing on facial recognition. Try to get as many faces that your core audience is going to relate to, okay? So if you're targeting, older women, make sure you use an older female in your videos, right? An older female of that age range. If your product is for young males from the ages of 21 to 25, make sure that you include males and females of that age group, all right? So the next thing that I want to touch on now is all about decentralizing your marketing strategy in 2020, okay? You don't understand how many e-commerce entrepreneurs rely 100% on Facebook advertising, okay? And that is just ridiculous. The whole point of 2020 is to be able to decentralize your marketing strategy, okay? So that you are less reliant on Facebook ads, due to these 3 reasons right here, okay? The first reason is because customers are paying attention on many other platforms rather than just Facebook. So whatever preconceived notion you might have about Facebook advertising, it is not the only place to advertise. It is not the only social media platform that people buy on, okay? There are a couple other ones, obviously, that we're gonna get to here in a second, but just keep that in mind, all right? Expensive since it has become so congested, because the early majority and the late majority have also caught up as well. So they have arrived to the scene, they're bidding up, they're spending their money, buku money as a matter of fact, and unfortunately that opportunity window has kind of closed down on Facebook, and it is coming to a close. Last but not least, it is becoming very sensitive due to privacy issues, especially as we head into the 2020 elections. So, Facebook has been facing so many different, charges and cases from the government and all different kinds of public institutions due to them, kind of really taking advantage of people's privacy issues. Now, although I don't know much about that, what I do know is a lot of our ads and ad accounts have been getting shut down, and friends of ours as well. And it's really due to the simple fact that they're just trying to be rather safe than sorry. And so they're just shutting off any ads or ad accounts that they feel are not staying up to par with their terms, their conditions, and their privacy policies as well. So you have to be really, really careful with being 100% reliant on Facebook ads due to these 3 reasons right here. Like I said, it's just customers are paying a lot more attention rather than just on Facebook. It's becoming very expensive and will be very expensive in 2020 compared to any other year prior. And very sensitive due to privacy issues, especially as we head into the 2020 election. So what is the solution? Well, I can't get all the way into it right now, but what I will say is that you will have to elevate to the omnipresence marketing strategy. Okay, this is the marketing strategy that we've been using throughout 2019, or I should say the majority of 2019. Now, what I mean by an omnipresence marketing strategy is accepting the fact that Facebook is not the only platform out there, and accepting the fact that, hey, even if somebody engages with me on Facebook, does not mean that they are not on other social media platforms. As a matter of fact, the majority of people are on 2 to 3 different social media platforms at once. And so why not create that 5 to 12 time engagement necessary in order to turn them into a customer without only having to create those engagements on Facebook. So if somebody has a Facebook profile, has an Instagram profile, and a TikTok, why not be able to create those engagements on all 3 of those platforms? Now let me ask you this, what would happen if somebody, like a real customer, real potential customer, engaged with your ad on Facebook, but they didn't hop back on Facebook until another month? Are you gonna have to wait for them to come back on there, or can you follow them along where else they went? Okay, so let's say they engage with your ad on Facebook, but yet the majority of the time they're hanging out on TikTok and on Snapchat. Well, guess what? There is a way to go ahead and follow those potential customers on to the platforms that they are hanging out in, and then turning them into a customer after building that relationship. So if you want to learn how to do that, and on top of that, just learn how to start and scale an e-commerce business, then I recommend you join us in the 2020 e-com resolution workshop. That's going to be going down this weekend. So not only are we going to talk about Facebook ads and marketing in 2020 in general, but we're also going to cover how to find the best winning products in 2020, how to build a store that actually converts, understanding buyer psychology, understanding the importance of creating offers instead of always having to compete on price. All right, these are things that I wish they would have taught us in college, but unfortunately I had to drop out and learn this all on my own, and hopefully you don't have to do that in 2020. Okay, just simply join us at the 2020 e-com resolution workshop and learn how to start and scale your e-commerce business so you can start living life on your own terms this year. All right, peace out. Click the link below, check it out, grab your ticket, and I will see you on the workshop.